What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka NinosCorner, man. First off, if you like this content that is coming your way, hit that subscribe button. It means a ton, means a lot. It helps me grow this channel. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to get all my notifications. It means a ton. And also, folks, if you're listening to this on the podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, whether it is Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher Breaker, again, like, comment, subscribe, 5-star review means a ton, means a lot. It helps me grow the channel. But today, folks, we are going to go do a Horns Corner game recap. Yes, Horns Corner. So that is the news section, the news segment of this podcast. So if you see there, Ninos Corner and Horns Corner. So I'm gonna have a Horns Corner segment. This is where I talk about all Texas, content. Where there's Texas recruiting, where it is, Texas game analysis, the whole nine. So just the Horns Corner segment. So the Horns Corner game recap. Texas at Texas Tech. But prior to that, folks, let's go and get into our sponsors. First sponsor, folks, is by betus.com. Get 125% sign up bonus using the bonus code NinosCorner at betus.com. That's free money, folks. 125% sign up bonus using the code NinosCorner at betus.com. Second sponsor, folks, is Manscaped, folks. Manscaped, get 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the promo code NinosCorner at manscaped.com. Again, 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the promo code NinosCorner at manscaped.com. But folks, today we are here to talk about the Horns Corner game recap, Texas at Texas Tech. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go over some of the NCN metrics. You guys know my NinosCorner number, and along to go with the explosive play rates, the SPs, which are the actual successive plays, and just everything. So, folks, let's go ahead and get into it, and we'll share the screen here so that you guys can actually see exactly what I am talking about. So, if we go here, we look at NinosCorner Sports. All right, we're going to go on the tab here, folks. You can either go here from the analysis side of the house, but you can go here also, player rankings. We'll start off with the running backs here, folks. So first off, first guy I want to talk about is Roschon Johnson. Not the best game from Rojo when it comes to rushing the ball today. So when we're looking at NCN numbers for rushing the ball, Rojo had a 23.22, right? The NCN average is around 45 points. So he was below average, folks. Only 9 attempts, only 15 yards rushing, 1.67 yards per attempt, 2 first downs in those rushes, so a 22% first down per attempt. So not the best rushing game for Rojo. I think we tried to use the Rocat a little too much, which we can, definitely get into that later on in the show. But he did catch the ball pretty well. When we look at catching the ball pretty well, 2 targets, 2 receptions, for 100% catch, a percentage for 23 yards. But if you go look at I think the second catch he had was where Rojo basically pancaked somebody and then ran the ball about 28 yards in total, because he had a bunch of yak and did his thing, man. A hell of a play by Rojo. That's going to be on his draft night. That's going to be like probably his draft highlight. The next person that we'll go to, folks, is Bijan Robinson from the running back position. Now, we take a look at Bijan. For Texas Tech, he had a 64 NCN rushing, so 64.00, which is really good. Really good, folks. And you take a look at it, 64 from the rushing side of the house, 121.86 from the receiving side of the house, but on a limited sample, only 1 catch, 1 target. But from the rushing side of the house, folks, 16 attempts, I got 101 yards, 6.31 yards per carry, 4 first downs, so a 25% first down per attempt rate, and 2 touchdowns rushing. So it's his touchdown per attempt is 13% for the game. And his explosive plays. So explosive plays, folks, for a running back is 15 yards or more rushing. He had 3 plays over 15 yards or more, so a 19% explosive play per attempt. And he had 6 successful plays, folks. So when I talk about, SPs, successful plays, those are plays that are leading to become a first down. So at least half the yardage on first down, at least 70% of the yardage on second down, and all of the yardage on third down or fourth down, respectively. So he had a 38% SP per attempt. And he had that 1 costly fumble, but look, guys, we can't blame it on Bijan. Bijan is that guy. And just to be honest, to have 6 successful plays out of the 16 attempts is kind of mind-boggling, because he continuously had pressure in the backfield. Bijan continuously had to make he had to go off script. So he had to basically dance a little bit in the backfield to get some yards. So yeah, just take a look at what Bijan did. Go look at the tape again. I've watched the game 3 times already. And I've been going over this film with, like some of the folks in the chat, whether it's 40 Acres Landlord and Texas Homer and, the Lando Show and, Nash Talks, sports and, Steven. And look, we all go over this every week and we talk a lot of ball. So, yeah, Bijan has to do that because sometimes this line doesn't run block the way that they're supposed to make sure that he has open lanes. Now, he did have open lanes, and go to 40 Acres Land. 40 Acres Landlord's post, and you'll see on Twitter he had, I think, in that goal line stance where Texas stopped Texas Tech on the goal line. We got the ball, I think, at the 2-yard line. There was a play where he had a no-kidding hole on the right side. I think that was a jumbo package as well between Christian Jones and Cole Hudson. Cole Hudson's guy kind of got a little bit of the best of Cole Hudson, but the running lane was still there. Bijan was only thinking about that guy. He should have just planted his foot, went in that lane, and guys, that would have been at least an explosive play at minimum 15, 20 yards, probably more. And with Bijan's heart, probably a touchdown. So there was an opportunity for a 98, 99-yard touchdown there in that play. But those are just the little things. But Bijan's one of those guys you cannot get mad at. Bijan is that guy. And this team would be, they would severely miss him if he wasn't here. Now, folks, for the season here, Bijan has an NCN rushing number of 77.79, his second best throughout his career. And that's saying a lot, even for his yardage, at 6.13 yards. This is second best for his career because people know how good he is now. I'm not saying that in 2021 they didn't know how good he was, but he snuck up on everybody because, yes, he was good in 2020, but he wasn't the guy in 2020. People were expecting him to be good in 2021, and then he just really became really good. Now people know he's a Heisman candidate. A lot of people are thinking he's probably going to be a Heisman finalist, and if he continues to play like this, he probably will be. And they still can't stop him, even with the grades that are coming in from different sites on the offensive line, which is pass blocking very well, but not run blocking at its best. But if you look at Bijan for the season, a 77.79 NCN rushing, a 60.61 NCN receiving, 67 attempts, 411 yards at 6.13 yards per attempt, 18 first downs, so 27%, first down per attempt rate, 7 touchdowns rushing, which is great. So 10% of his carries are, so right at 10% of his carries are for touchdowns. Explosive plays, yes, 8 explosive plays, meaning rushes that are 15 yards or more. So 12% of his touches are explosive plays and successful plays, folks. 26 out of his 67 rushing attempts are successful plays, so 39%. You kind of want that number to be, like last year, around the 45% range or better. But hey, this is still early in the season. He's going to get his legs underneath him. He's going to do good things. And he has that one costly fumble. But look, Bijan doesn't fumble the ball much. And you see that he's taking it very seriously. You see all the reports that he's been carrying the football around campus pretty much since that game. So I got all confidence in Bijan. Bijan's the guy that Texas folks, we don't have to worry about Bijan. He's going to be just fine. Folks, let's go down to the wide receiver position. Let's take a look at Jordan Whittington. First off, Jordan Whittington, his NCN number here, folks, is 52.92. 4 receptions off of 5 targets, so an 80% catch percentage, 53 yards. Okay, first downs. 3 out of his 4 catches were first down, so 75% first down per reception. Now, if you go look at explosive plays, no explosive plays today, and he really hasn't been explosive this year too much. Which is kind of a worry. It kind of used to, Jordan getting some plays that are 15 yards more. But to be honest with you, he's been kind of one of those guys that just moves the chains kind of methodically. So even last season, he had 9 explosive plays, but he didn't play a full season. So he was kind of getting on that path to get that done. But this year, he has 1 explosive play this year so far. We'll see that hopefully, increase. But a 25% XP per catch rate. His successful plays, though, 3 out of his 4 catches were successful plays, meaning, like I said, those plays that are on the way to getting first down. So he's a very successful catcher of the ball. And if you look even for the season, if you go up here for the season, he's his SP per reception is very high, almost 90%, folks. Almost 90% SP per reception and almost 70% SP per target. So yeah, he's been doing good things. 111 yards of yak pretty much for the season. But just for this game alone, his yak was 25 yards. So, yeah, he's going to get you, a continuous around 24, 25 yards of yak, just averaging out. And his yak per reception here so far this season, I got at 6.17 yak per reception, and for the game it was 6.1. I'm sorry, 6.25. So Jordan Whittington, he's that guy. I mean, he's good. He's more like a running back when he gets the ball. So you just love that. Kind of Devin Duvernay-ish when he gets the ball. He becomes just an instant running back who loves and thrives off contact. But yeah, Jordan Whittington is that guy. Next guy I want to highlight here, folks, is going to be, let's look at Xavier Worthy, X-Man number 8, Xavier Worthy. This game, he had a touchdown this game. NCN receiving, folks, of 42.9. And that number is only low like that because he had a drop. If he didn't have a drop, I think that number's up to around 60. But actually, weight drops pretty big in this system. He had a couple drops. He had a drop last week, if I'm not mistaken, as well, and a drop this week. So he had 2 drops so far this year. Take a look. Yeah, he had a drop this week and a drop against Alabama. And then, the drop against Alabama was the touchdown drop. But yeah, he had one to actually start off this game. So he had 9 drops so far since he's been playing here at Texas, which is quite a bit, but he's a young player. He got to catch the ball, not on his body, but with his hands. And I'm pretty sure Coach Marion is going to get that into him. But he had 5 targets, folks. I got 5 targets. I got 3 receptions for Xavier Worthy, 50 yards. 2 of those receptions were for first down, so 67% first down per reception. 1 TD, so 33% TD per reception rate, which is really good, and 1 explosive play, which is that touchdown rate, play, and that's also 33% from the reception side of the house. And all 3 of his catches were successful plays, so 100% successful play per reception rate. So averaging 16.67 yards per reception. X-Man's that guy. He's another guy I'm not worried about as well. Once we get X-Men doing his thing, once he gets in the groove of things, he's going to be just fine. His NCN reception rate is a little low this year, 32.87. That's mainly because of the drops, and he just hasn't had the opportunities this year because teams know about him. So teams are scheming. They're putting a safety over him. That's why I think we miss Nayer so much, is to be able to have somebody opposite of Worthy to kind of take that pressure off him. And Jordan Whittington's doing a great job as well. But with that, you kind of had to have like that 3-headed monster there, and then couple that also with a guy like JT Sanders, and that'd be just freaking awesome. But that's what we have there for Xavier Worthy. Let's take a look. We'll look at the tight end position. Let's look at the tight end. The tight end position, the only guy I really want to highlight here is probably JT Sanders. JT Sanders, for the game, he had a 48.99, 5 targets, 5 receptions for 100% catch. Then 40 reception yards, folks. 2 of those receptions were first down, so 40% first down per reception, which is pretty good, folks. No touchdowns this game, no explosive plays, and 4 successful plays. So every one of his plays that he caught the ball was a successful play. That's to the scheming of Sark. So I'm sorry, 4 out of 5. So that is an 80% SP per reception and an SP per target for him. Sark schemes guys to be successful. And so you're going to always see some pretty high SP per receptions for the tight ends and for the wide receiver because he schemes them open. So I'm not worried about this position either. We just got to be able to block better to be able to get him to release and be able to catch those balls here in the near future. But look, we got a big game coming up against West Virginia here this Saturday. It's a night game too, so we'll see what's going to happen. But for the season, if you just take a look at Sanders, man, a 50.15 NCN receiving, 19 targets, 15 receptions, so almost 80% catch percentage, 134 yards at 8.93 yards per reception. 7 first downs, so a 47% first down per reception. Not bad at all. And 1 TD, that's going to get higher because he's going to get targeted in the red zone, and 2 explosive plays for a tight end, which is pretty damn good for a guy who's 6'4", 256 pounds. So, folks, we'll go over one more. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks, and we'll take a look at what Hudson Card has done here in this game alone. In this game alone against Texas Tech, Hudson Card, 20 for 31, 277, 13.85 yards per completion, and 8.94 yards per attempt. 2 touchdown passes in 1 pick. So the TD attempt per pass is 0.06, interceptions 0.05, so 5%. But if you take a look at his explosive plays, he had 5 explosive plays in passing the ball. So 25% of his passes were for explosive plays. And I got a metric here. I think almost 50% of Texas's total yardage came from explosive play yardage, meaning plays that are 15 or more yards in rushing and 20 or more yards in passing. So Hudson had 5 plays that were 20 or more yards in passing. And his explosive play attempt from the passing percentage was 16%. And then he had 17 successful plays in the passing game. So 17 out of 20. So very efficient passing game. So 85% of his completions were successful, right? 85% of his completions were successful. Now his successful play per attempt was still almost 55%. So really good efficient game by Hudson. Only that one real mistake, the pick. But other than that, very efficient game by Hudson Card. We did not lose this game because of Hudson Card. He actually had a really good game. So very proud of Hudson. And just to see what he's done here over the last, basically 3 games, folks. He played 3 quarters against Bama, all 4 against UTSA, and all 4 against Texas Tech. So very proud of what Hudson has done here for this team. Now, folks, if we go, let's take a look. I'm going to do a screen share. We're going to take a look at my Excel spreadsheet, and we'll see exactly some of the team metrics that I always track, folks. I always track these team metrics. So if we take a look at just a play breakdown, we had 160 plays in this game, 60 for Texas on the offense side of the ball, 100 for Texas Tech. So they had 40 more plays, folks. We were pretty balanced, 52% passing, 48% rushing. Texas Tech, 58% passing, 42% running. We actually did a pretty damn good job of stopping the run. So when you take a look at their successful plays, and just in the running game, 14 successful plays for Texas Tech in the running game out of 37 rushing attempts. No, I'm sorry. Out of 42 rushing plays. So a 33% SPR for the run. We did very well against their run. We even actually did pretty good against their pass too, but they passed so much. They had 58 passing attempts. They were successful on 23, so about 40%. They were only successful 37% of the time, but it was the key moments when they were successful, folks. Texas Tech having 6 out of 8 fourth down conversions. They were a very aggressive team, and we weren't aggressive. We weren't aggressive at all. I don't think. I don't think. Honestly, we weren't as aggressive as Texas Tech. Texas Tech went for fourth down 8 times in the game, and they converted 6. So 6 out of 8 is a very high percentage there, folks. What's that? 3 out of 4, 75%. Yeah, one thing I do like, though, from the defense is we're not giving up a lot of explosive plays. Texas Tech only had 5 explosive plays. For a team to have 100 total plays and only have 5 explosive plays, meaning rushes of 15 yards or more or pass completions of 20 yards or more, the defense kind of did their job. I wasn't too mad at the defense after looking at the tape again for the 3rd time. Yes, they had some blown assignments. They had some dumb penalties. The offsides were dumb, which calls for 2 of those explosive plays, or actually 1 of those explosive plays, where the quarterback was smart. They had 2 offsides and just went deep. We got a PI, I think, on PI was on Gilbo, I think, and the other one was an offsides, and he just drew it deep and had a catch, and the catch was on Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, but it was Johnson and the safety. I think Johnson and Thompson, but I could be wrong on that. But so they only had 5 explosive plays, which was really good. And for them to pass the ball so much and only have 3 explosive passing plays was good. That we didn't allow anything to go above us, over the top of us, but we did let them dink and dunk, and they were very successful in that range. Now, if you go take a look at the NCN metrics and the NCN scores, folks, about 45 points is your average. Texas had on the offense side of the ball, NCN offense was 65 points. Texas Tech was 45. And I only say it was, looks like we won the game, right? Well, we were very efficient. We were a more efficient offense than Texas Tech was. Texas Tech just had more opportunities. They had more opportunities, folks. On the defense side of the ball, we were pretty much even, 47.9 to 43.2. So pretty much even there. If we go take a look at, one thing I want to take a look at, folks, is those NCNs per quarter and also per overtime. You take a look at here. We were a team in the first quarter. Our NCN number in the first quarter was 75.38 points, and 90.52 in the second quarter. We were on fire. And then in the third quarter, it's like we got a little conservative, and then overtime happened, and we were at 28. Texas Tech was pretty consistent. They started off hot. Second quarter, not so good. And then third quarter, they made that rally, did their thing. They had I think the one touchdown there in the fourth quarter as well. But they weren't as efficient of an offense. And then in overtime, they just won the game. But yeah, they were kind of like, okay, we had a good first quarter, kind of took a quarter off, good third quarter to come and tie the game, basically. Well, actually tie the game in the fourth quarter, but they were moving the ball on us at will. We're going to talk about the defense. I'm not going to go too much into the defense side of the ball. One thing I will say is that our defensive line and our linebackers having 5 tackles for loss was pretty good. 2 sacks. I think one was by Overshawn, and one was a push out of bounds by Jamison. So it wasn't a sack. It wasn't like really a sack, but we can do better. We can get more pressure. I checked some sites that said we had 44 pressures. I don't see that. I don't know how realistic 44 pressures is. I didn't see 44 pressures, folks. I didn't see it. They had 1 sack on us and only 1 tackle for loss. However, when we take a look at let's take a look at the formations. You guys know I love to look at the formations here. So we had 60 plays, and Steven's gonna laugh at me. We had a message the other day. I was kind of mad watching the film over again last night, and I saw one of the jumbo packages, and it was like I think the first or second play that we used the jumbo package, and Carrot kind of missed the block, and I was so mad. I was like, "Get rid of the jumbo package," and then I had to kind of calm myself down and look and say that that the jumbo package, this game wasn't the best, but pretty much over the season, it's been one of the most successful packages we've had in the passing game. So, yeah, I'll, I actually show you guys that information here in like just a minute. But looking at plays, we use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we use 7 different formations plus the road cat, so 8 different formations. So we're very versatile. However, we're very efficient. We just need this number here. We need that 60 number to be around 80. Or at least 70, 75 to kind of counter what they had at the 100. So if we take another 15 plays and we're at 75 and they're at 85, I feel comfortable with us winning that game. However, when you take a look at the packages at empty formation, we were successful 60% of the time. We had 1 explosive play out of empty formation. So we had 3 successful plays out of 5 and 1 explosive play out of 5. Now, if we take a look at 10, which was 1 running back, no tight ends. We were successful 7 out of 11 times, which is really good, especially in the running game. We were successful the 1 out of 1 time, and in the passing game, we were successful 6 out of 9. So, no, I'm sorry, 6 out of 10. But a overall SP rate of 64% from the 10 formation. From 11, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 17 total plays, 9 successful plays out of there as well, 53%. 56% in the passing game, 50 in the run game, and 12 personnel, which is kind of what it was tied with 11 with our most used personnel package, and with 12, and that 12 counts in with jumbo too. So don't look at jumbo as being separate of 12. It's part of 12 personnel. So 10 out of those 17 12 personnel packages were jumbo plays. So that 12 personnel number actually accounts for the jumbo. So 24% total SP rate. Now, if you go look at the jumbo was 30%, right? So not the best total. We were 38% successful in the run game. And one of those rushing plays that was successful, Bijan had a hell of a play. He just basically got jammed up in the back, bounced it from the right side over to the left. I think had a very explosive play. I think he had 14, 15-yard run there. But we were not successful at all in the passing game from the jumbo personnel package, which was a lot different in Alabama because we were very successful against Alabama. And then we had 20 personnel, 21 personnel, so 2 running backs and 1 tight end, 4 plays there, and 22, none, and 23, none. So 22, 21 personnel, 4 plays, 2 were successful. I think we got a touchdown out of that as well. I think we got a touchdown out of that. Do I have it on there? I don't think I have it on, but I'm pretty sure we got a touchdown off of that one. and an explosive play out of that 21 personnel as well. And then we had the diamond formation, like the 30 personnel that we had. We used that twice, and we were successful both times. So yeah, really good formation there for us as well, and had one that's supposed to play out of that formation. I think that was the Keelan Robinson touchdown pass, but I could be wrong. But if you go take a look at the Texas Tech, their personnel packages. Let's take a look at Texas Tech. Texas Tech, their extra personnel packages, their 100 plays. They use 1, 2, 3, 4. They use 6 different personnel packages, actually 5 different personnel packages. The majority was out of 10. And if you take a look, they use empty and 10 pretty much, and 11, but they use a lot of 10 personnel. And I'm gonna tell you what, folks, Bryce Young has basically showed everybody the blueprint to beat us, and that's to dink and dunk on us, and that's what they did. They had 32 pass plays, 17 run plays out of 10 personnel, the most passing or running plays out of any personnel package that they had, and they did their thing against us there. They had 5 successful run plays, 9 successful passing plays, a total of 14 successful passing plays out of that formation alone. Even though they had a lot, it wasn't a great percentage just because of the simple fact that they didn't run much out of that package. Now, when it went to 11 personnel, which was the second most used package that they had, they were successful, folks, 46% of the time in the running game and 55% of the time in the passing game. 2 explosive plays out of that package as well, and 3 successful plays out of that 10 formation. But, folks, Bryce Young showed us in that last 2 minutes or that last 90 seconds exactly how to beat us. That's dinking and dunking, and that's what UTSA did. And if they had more talent, they probably would have beat us. But Texas Tech has more talent than UTSA, and they were able to scheme and beat us. And so those are the metrics that are shown here, folks. But I do want to take a look at the final team metrics here for the season so far. And this is where me and Steven, from FP, from that perspective, we were kind of laughing about this yesterday. But I was like, get rid of the jumbo package. And I got, you know what, Steven, I actually texted him last night and said, don't get rid of it because it's probably one of our most successful passing formations. As a matter of fact, it is our most successful passing formation with at least 10 passing plays. It was successful 57% of the time out of jumbo package, right? 57% of the time out of jumbo package. The next highest is the 10 personnel package, and that was 56% of the time. That has at least 10 passing plays or more. So yeah, it's been very successful in the passing game, but not the running game. You would think it'd be more successful in the running game because you bring in an extra tight end that is an offensive lineman and Andre Carrick. But from a successful side of the house, from an SP side of the house, it's 57%, which is the highest in the successful play passing, and it is around the 3rd or 4th highest overall when it comes to SPR total at 45%. Just for the team with 10 or more different plays. It's a 3rd. It's tied with 3rd with 0 formation, which is empty. And out of jumbo, they have 3 explosive plays. So 3 out of those 9 explosive plays from the 12 personnel are coming from jumbo. So 33% of 12 personnel's explosive play rate comes from the jumbo package. So, Steven, there you go, man. There you go, Steven. There you go. Keep the jumbo package. I'm sorry. Keep the jumbo package. I was tripping yesterday. But anyways, folks, that is it. That's all the stats that we're going to talk about today. Again, the HornsCorner recap, Texas at Texas Tech. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the stats. Thanks for tuning in. NinosCorner, I'm out. Horns always up. Hook 'em.